Well, here we are. Thank you so much for joining me, Vladislav. I'm excited to learn more about Block Party. And we're really grateful that you were one of the very first speakers we invited to speak at NFT NYC this year. Can you please introduce yourself to me and give me a little context for Block Party?
Ian, thank you so much for having me. And I do very much appreciate NFT NYC inviting me to speak early on. It's really a pleasure and a privilege to be part of the event that I've been to before and that I really am so proud to see growing alongside the industry. So my name is Vladislav Ginsburg. I'm co-founder and CEO of Block Party. Block Party is an NFT marketplace that prides itself on flexibility, on physical tied to digital, and being blockchain agnostic.
With Web3 and all that is decentralization, a huge emphasis is community. So can you give me some insights in how you and your team and Block Party as an organization are tackling community now, and maybe how you're projecting community development in the near future?
Absolutely. Community, as I like to say, is when NFTs and community blend well, that's the best use case for NFTs. NFTs end up being a really terrific medium of exchange for communities, whether it captures the cultural relevance of the community or the way the community exchanges value between each other or even communicates. So with Block Party, where we've done our best work is with creators, brands, athletes, musicians, artists that have somewhat of their own audience. And we offer NFTs as a tool, NFT commerce as a tool, to engage their existing communities and give them that medium of exchange, give them something by which to trade, to communicate with, to add value to each other and distribute value amongst each other. So we like to think that our path to developing community is onboarding the communities of our clients and helping them understand Web3, helping them understand their own communities, and helping them understand how NFTs can generate value and value transfer and value exchange for those communities.
There was a time where you were focused on ticketing and now transitioning more and more to an NFT marketplace. And I assume you have lots of things in mind and in the works as you, have success continually. When you think about the platform, the technology, the what's being built, around all this, give me some insights on approaching Web3 tech as a co-founder and an executive leading this company.
That's a great question. And we co-founded Block Party in 2017 with the idea that NFTs should be event tickets. And that's given us a great deal of experience of not only working with NFTs, but working with NFTs that are going to the hands of concert goers and event goers, not necessarily blockchain enthusiasts. So we've gotten to learn in the field by ticketing music festivals, by ticketing events, what it looks and feels like for a mainstream consumer to hold an NFT and to interact with it. And we've learned a lot from that experience. We've also got an opportunity to learn about, as it relates to ticketing, what is access control and what is the importance of the non-fungible token and ownership and immutable ownership. So those things, while they can be related, aren't necessarily overlapping. And what we learned from the musicians that we served, from the events that we served, is that, again, the value of the NFTs that we were working with was shining when we were finding a way to transfer value from the creator to the collector or to the audience. And then access control being something pretty operational at the venue day of, as we're all experiencing with NFT NYC. So and when we realized those are two different things, as a Web3 company and as blockchain enthusiasts ourselves, we decided to pursue NFTs. We decided to adapt ourselves to the idea that creators, that brands, that entertainers should be value transferring with their audiences. And so where does Web3 matter? Where does the immutable ledger, where does ownership, where does provenance, where do these things absolutely matter for between fans, between brands, between their audiences? and what is, as we learned in ticketing days, something quite operational and to the point, like access control. And once we realized that we can really affect the way that these communities and their and who they support, that's where we started focusing. And we realized, we've worked with so many creators, we've worked with so many artists, with so many creatives that, you get 100 creators in a room, you're going to hear 100 different ways to engage their audiences. And that's where we concluded that the best way to serve is to build a flexible platform where if somebody says, I've developed my audience with this particular thing that I do, we don't ask them to put into a box with NFTs. We come back to them and say, here's a host of products, here's a host of tooling that we've created around NFTs. How can we customize our tooling to what you do such that you can engage your community best in a Web3 environment?
If I ask you to give kind of a call to action, you're at Times Square, the billboards, you have everybody's attention at NFT NYC, what might something be that you'd communicate to everyone?
Forget e-commerce. This is the dawn of NFT commerce. And this is not a fad. We're already at NFT NYC. We know this is the future, but let's really digest what that means. Everything we do on the internet, since the internet became a household item, has been inherently non-fungible. The goods that we buy have been inherently non-fungible. The content we consume, the content we create, we've called this e-commerce for many years. We're at the dawn of NFT commerce, and let's really digest in this conference, in our lives, in our work lives, what that really means for the future. And this industry is growing, and that means that it's growing into a huge ecosystem, a diverse ecosystem. At Block Party, we digest that by building tools for NFT commerce. And that's the message we love to leave with everybody here. This is a diverse economy, and it's going to need diverse tool sets to support it.
Well, I'm thankful for the diverse tool sets that you and your team at Block Party are bringing. Thankful that you jumped in with us for this conversation. For anybody that's watching us live or sees the archive, thank you for your attention. My name's Ian Utilli. I'm one of the co-producers at NFT NYC. I'll be back again with another one of these interviews very soon.